Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to the NTPC Limited Q2 FY23 earnings conference call hosted by B&K Securities. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star, then 0 on a touch-tone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Rajesh Majumdar from B&K Securities. Thank you and over to you, sir.
Thank you and good evening everyone. We are presenting today the Q2 FY24 conference of NTPC Limited. The company is represented by Sri Jaikumar Srinivasan, Director of Finance, Sri Dilip Kumar Patel, Director of Human Resources, Sri Ramesh Babu V, Director of Operations, Sri Ujjwal Kanti Bhattacharya, Director of Projects, and Sri Shivam Srivastava, Director of Fuel. Congratulations, sir, on a good set of numbers. So, without much ado, let us start with the opening comments of the management. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Very good evening to all the participants. On behalf of NTPC, I, Jaikumar Srinivasan, Director of Finance, welcome all of you to the Q2 FY24 Concall of NTPC Limited. I'll repeat, I have with me Sri Dilip Kumar Patel, Director of Human Resources, Sri Ramesh Babu, Director of Operations, Sri Ujjwal Kanti Bhattacharya, Director of Projects, and Sri Shivam Srivastava, Director of Fuel. I also have with me other key members of NTPC team. Today, the company has announced the unaudited financial results for Q2 FY24 along with half-yearly results of financial year 24. The key performance highlights for the quarter and the half-year ended 30th September 23 have already been disclosed on both the stock exchanges. NTPC has had yet another remarkable quarter with a strong operational and financial performance. We have made significant progress on various strategic initiatives, including renewables. Regarding the operational highlights for Q2 and H1 financial year 23, during H1 financial year 24, NTPC has added 1570 megawatt commercial capacity to its portfolio, out of which a capacity of 110 megawatt was added from the renewable sources. As on 30th September 23, the commercial capacity of NTPC stands at 57,838 megawatt on a standalone basis and 73,824 megawatt for the group as a whole. NTPC group generated 212 billion units in H1 FY24 as compared to 204 billion units in H1 financial year 23, an increase of 4%. NTPC standalone gross generation in H1 financial year 24 is 179 billion units as compared to 176 billion units in corresponding previous period. During H1 FY24, PLF of the coal stations of NTPC was 76.62% as against the national average of 68.75%. For H1 financial year 24, 3 coal stations of NTPC group, which are Rihan, Singrauli and Bhilai, were among the top 10 performing stations in the country in terms of plant load factors. During the H1 financial year 24, there has been lower generation due to grid restrictions of 46 billion units against 40 billion units in the corresponding previous year. There was a negligible generation loss due to fuel supply against 2 billion units in the corresponding period of the previous year. Regarding the status of fuel supply, during H1 FY24, materialization of coal against annual contracted quantity ACQ was 95.80% as against 99.93% in the corresponding previous period. Coal supply during H1 financial year 24 was 113 million metric ton, including 4 million metric ton of import coal. The coal supply during the corresponding previous period was 112 million metric ton, including 10 MMT of imported coal. NTPC has registered highest ever coal production of 16.06 million metric ton in H1 FY24, with growth of over 83% as against 8.76 MMT in H1 FY23. Cumulative expenditure of 10,095.34 crores has been incurred on the development of coal mines till 30th September 2023. Now I'll update some of the financial activities of the company. Total income for Q2 financial year 24 is 41,517.87 crores as against 41,810.96 crores in the corresponding quarter of the previous year. On a half-yearly basis, the total income in H1 FY24 is 81,198.56 crores as compared to 81,536.63 crores in H1 financial year 23. Profit after tax for Q2 FY24 is 3,885.01 crores as against 3,331.20 crores in the corresponding quarter of previous year, registering an increase of 16.62%. On a half-yearly basis, PAT is 7,951.05 crores as against 7,048.16 crores in H1 FY23, registering an increase of 12.81%. Total income of the group for H1 financial year 24 is 88,774.66 crores as against 88,242.22 crores in the corresponding previous period. Profit after tax for group for H1 FY24 is 9,633.53 crores as against the corresponding previous period of PAT of 7,395.44 crores, registering an increase of 30.26%. During H1 FY24, our subsidiaries have earned a profit of 1,117.36 crores as compared to 867.65 crores in the corresponding period of previous year, registering an increase of 28.78%. NTPC's share of profit in JVs has increased from 120.57 crores in H1 FY23 to 1,082.25 crores in H1 FY24. During H1 FY24, we have accounted dividend income of 549.98 crores as against 640.94 crores during H1 FY23. The regulated equity of NTPC as on 30th September 2023 was 81,498 crores on a standalone basis and 98,050 crores on a group basis. As regards funds mobilization, in the current quarter, NTPC has signed term loan agreement of 5,000 crores with HDFC Bank. Average cost of borrowing during H1 FY24 is 6.67% as compared to 6.22% in H1 FY23. Regarding capital expenditure, in H1 FY24, we have incurred a group capex of 13,203.60 crores as compared to 16,664.19 crores in the corresponding previous period. The capital outlay of NTPC standalone has been estimated at 22,454 crores for financial year 24. I would like to highlight few other important issues. NTPC Group has a strong commitment towards renewable energy. We have already commissioned 3,314 megawatt of RE projects. Presently, 7,258 megawatt of RE projects are under construction. Furthermore, we have secured tender and bilateral tie-ups for another 10 gigawatt of renewable capacity, creating a visible pipeline of more than 20 gigawatt in the near term. MOU has been signed between NTPC Green and UPRVUNL for the development of RE project in Uttar Pradesh. Similar MOU was also signed with HPCL, Mittal Energy Limited, for the development of RE projects and green hydrogen derivatives. MOU was also signed with ONGC and Oil India Limited for renewable energy projects to explore collaboration in areas of renewable energy, green hydrogen and its derivatives, geothermal, etc. As part of our overall energy security plans, we are actively considering awarding thermal capacity of 11.2 gigawatt by next fiscal. This is in addition to the 10 gigawatt thermal capacity already under construction for the group. Furthermore, to have greater fuel security, we are enhancing our coal mining capacity as well. A business transfer agreement for transferring mining assets from NTPC to NTPC Mining Limited, a wholly owned subsidiary of NTPC, was signed on 17th August 23 at New Delhi. Also, NML participated in the auction process of commercial coal blocks notified by Ministry of Coal and was declared as preferred bidder for North Dadu East coal mine, having an estimated geological reserve of 439 million tons. Going higher on generation, lowering GHG intensity remain our motto for environment management and drives our efforts to comply with new environmental norms. We have taken significant steps to control SOx and NOx emissions. Over the next 3 years, we have planned to commission FGD systems for our entire operational and under construction capacity, ensuring a substantial reduction in SOx emissions. With respect to ash utilization, 10 NTPC and JV station achieve 100% ash utilization. NTPC average ash utilization is 77.86%. 2,700 million tons of ash was transported in containers on PLC rakes from Khargaon, which is the first of its kind in India for ash transportation. Lastly, as a CSR initiative, NTPC has adopted archery sports in India with an objective of scouting for talent in remote part of India and nurturing them through coaching camps to enhance India's presence in the sports internationally. Indian archers have bagged 9 medals, 5 gold, 2 silver, 2 bronze in the recently held 19th edition. Also, the India archers shot their way to second rank by bagging 4 medals, 2 gold, 1 silver, 1 bronze in the Archery World Cup stage, held in Antalya from 18th to 23rd April 23. NTPC has been recognized as one of the world's best employer 2023 in the Forbes World Best Employer List 2023. It ranked 261 out of the top 700 companies in the world ranking and is the only Indian PSU to see. NTPC Limited has been conferred with Asia's Best Employer Brand Award 2023 and the Asia's Best Employer Brand Award held on 17th August 2023. NTPC bagged 5 awards at the 5th edition of CII Digital Transformation Awards hosted by CII Tata Communications Center for Digital Transformation. NTPC has been awarded Technology Transfer Award 2022 in Generation Sector by Electric Power Research Institute, EPRI, US, for incorporating assessment and benchmarking tool for flexible operations. These are some of the key highlights I wanted to share before we begin the question and answer session. Thank you so much. And I now hand over to BNK Securities for further proceedings.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone?
Yeah, but some interceptions. We could hear some discussion. Can you? It happened last time also. There was a lot of disturbance. Somebody talking in between. Can you just check up?
Yes, sir. I'll check on that. Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask questions may press star and 1 on their touch-tone telephone. If you wishes to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles.
Continue. Yeah.
Excuse me, sir. There is a background disturbance from the management line.
Management line.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we'll have to deal with this. Okay, fine, carry on.
Okay, sir.
Are you not able to hear that?
Sir, we are able to hear it.
Yeah. Okay.
The first question is from the line of Mohit Kumar from ICICI Securities. Please go.
My first question is on the thermal coal pipeline. So you just mentioned that you are looking to award 11.2 gigawatt. How much is coming in standalone? How much is coming in on Concall basis? And are we looking to award? And how much you are looking to award in this fiscal? And if you can name those power plants, it will be very helpful.
Yeah. 11.2 gigawatt, which we mentioned. I just named the projects. This will be Singrauli 3, 1600 megawatt, which is expected to be tendered out in the Q3 of the current fiscal. Seepat 3, again, the same period, 800 megawatt. Darlipalli, Unit 1.
Very good.
In fact, we are going to add 11,200 megawatt award by financial year 24-25 Q3, and 50% will be standalone, 50% will be for Jerry Road.
Okay, does this include Lara? Any chance, sir?
Sorry to interrupt, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
We will reconnect your line as there is a lot of background noise coming from the.
Right.
The management line is reconnected. Please go ahead, sir.
I'll just respond to this question about the new thermal capacity being planned. Out of the total 11.2 gigawatt that is planned, 50% would be coming from NTPC standalone, and the remaining 50 would be through joint ventures subsidy. And these would be tendered out progressively over the next 12 months, you can say.
So does this include Lara or this is excluding Lara?
Lara has been awarded. Lara has been awarded already last month.
Understood, sir. My second question is, sir, how do H1 was slightly, bit muted in terms of renewable bidding. How do you see the renewable bidding pipeline and opportunity, which you believe will conclude in H2 and provide us a greater opportunity for us?
Mr. Mohit Bhargava, our ED, RE, and NGL CEO will take this question.
I'm not very clear what you want to know because the pipeline has already been disclosed by Director Finance.
No, so my question was something else, on the bidding pipeline. So because the H1, I think bidding was slightly muted for renewables by all the agencies. My question is, how is the pipeline looking like at this point of time, and how do you expect this to in terms of gigawatt to close by end of fiscal?
So as far as the bidding pipeline as directed by the Government of India is concerned, I think about 25 which have already been announced by the agencies, including about 5 gigawatts from NTPC. And the target is that all the 50 gigawatt bid completion would be done by the end of March. So that's how the things stand. Because now all the various guidelines, the bid document guidelines, the pooling guidelines, and all of those have been issued.
Understood. So my last question is, what was the regulated equity at the end of H1 for the standalone and Concall?
The regulated equity at the end of last quarter was 81,498 on standalone basis.
Anything on Concall, sir? Is it available or?
Concall is 98,050.
Understood, sir. Thank you and all the best, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Apurva Bahadur from Goldman Sachs. Please go ahead.
Hey, hi, sir. Thank you for the opportunity. So can you share the fixed cost under recovery figures for 1H and 2?
The fixed cost under recovery for Q2 you want, or Q2 is 381 crores.
Okay, fair enough. I think that's helpful. So I wanted to understand the position of coal inventory. I mean, what we can see from India data is that it is a bit tight. How do you see this panning out going ahead for the rest of the year?
You will have to repeat. Probably the line is not very clear. We are struggling to hear you. Little bit.
Sorry, I hope I am audible now.
Slightly better, yes.
Yes, sir. So I wanted to inquire about the coal inventory at power plants. There has been some tightness as per the CEA data. How do you see the rest of the year panning out, especially for our non-peated power plants?
Right now, the coal stock is around 8.5 days at NTPC stations. Although the pitted is non-pitted stations, the coal stock is less. Going forward, generally the coal receipts would increase from now onwards. So yes, it is a little tight, but we expect the coal stocks to pick up from end of this month onwards.
Okay, sir. And our schedule? Sorry, the scheduled maintenances for all our coal plants has been done, or something is due in Q3 as well?
Something will be due in Q3 and Q4 also, because we have a lot of units. So except for the government directive that not to take units and overhauling in the month of April and mid of May, we have started taking overhaulings every month, and it's going on.
Okay, sir. So by the end of the year, the total 6% recovery should reverse some.
It should be near around 200 crores. Hello? Hello?
So the next question is from the line of Nikhil Nigania from Alliance Bernstein. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you for taking my question. My first question is on the renewable side. Wanted to understand if there is any update on the investment envisaged in the renewable business and plans to list the renewable business separately.
You want the projected investment in the renewable?
No, sir. Sir, there was a plan to get an separate investor into the renewable portfolio and then list the renewable business separately as an entity. If there's any update on that.
We have broadly some plans for, unlocking some value either by way of a stake sale or an IPO route. However, we are working towards that, but as you know that, we have a pipeline of renewable projects. 3 is already operational, 6.2 is under construction, and another 11 gigawatt is under different stages. So we'll be working on that, and by year and a half or 2 years, there should be a substantial capacity on ground. So when we reach a certain critical mass, we will time it. So right now we are working towards that, but we'll be exploring the market, looking at the conditions and deciding on the timing.
Got it. Understood, sir. Thank you. So the second question I had was storage. On storage, there is a lot of news around plans to set up pump storage, and the government is keen as well. Wanted to understand if there is any update on the storage front. There was a tender out by NTPC as well on storage. So any update you can share on plans on pump storage or otherwise?
On the pump storage, I'll give you a snapshot. Government had identified, Government of India, last year, 11,550 megawatt, and across Maharashtra, Andhra, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka, and identified NTPC as possible developers subject to government of that particular state agreeing to. Out of that 11,550, we have gone into the PFR and also gone for acceptance or dropping some of the units. So we are now targeting half of that, 5,300. Meanwhile, we have self-identified another 8,500 megawatt of capacity, Gujarat, Himachal, Meghalaya, Chhattisgarh, and Madhya Pradesh, and feasible capacity is 100% of that. So if we add together, today we have around 14,000 megawatt of pump storage capacity ready to be signed with the state governments at different stages, and we will immediately start building up.
That's helpful. That's helpful, sir. Any visibility on timeline? How long does this take? Because then there'll be approvals and then construction. So how long would we start seeing on-ground progress on this? Tentatively.
I will tell you, for a typical pump storage, it typically takes 2 to 3 years for the initial work. Because it's like any hydro, there are a lot of studies to be carried out. And the construction time will be of the order of, it can be 3.5 to 4.5 years, depending on the site. And depending on whether it is off river or on the river, etc. So from today, if you take the most conservative view, it will be of the order of, say, 7 to 8 years, and if it is most optimistic, it can be of the order of, say, 6 years. That's the position.
Understood, sir. Very helpful, sir. Thank you, sir. I'll join back the queue.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Abhishek Maheshwari from SkyRidge wealth management. Thank you so much.
Thank you for the opportunity. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yeah. So just I have only one question. It's regarding understanding your debt, your borrowing strategy. So as we understand it, currently you are generating more than enough cash to sufficiently pay off for all your capex expenses. And I understand that all the power projects are formulaic basis. Our bid PPAs are signed on formulaic basis through a mix of debt and equity. But is it necessary for you to take that debt to finance your project, or can you finance it through your internal accruals also? So just wanted to understand: do you have a planned peak debt for your books, or is it something that will keep coming on as you take new projects?
No, right now the company's debt equity ratio is very comfortable, and as long as we are we keep investing on thermal side, which is still a regulated business on a cost plus basis, it benefits us to put 30% permissible equity over there because it will fetch us a 15.5% returns, isn't it? But as far as other business, non-regulated business is concerned, that will depend on the resource position. Generally, on the renewable side, we go for a 80-20 combination. But
so more
fact remains that in a regulated business, even if you put more equity, it will be treated as a notional debt, and you'll be getting only the weighted average rate of borrowings. So it doesn't pay you to put more equity into the regulated business.
No, right, that's what I was asking, and I meant it majorly for renewables only because that's the strategy going forward, right? So since the bulk of capex will be going into renewables only, then does it make sense to finance it through your own selves rather than relying on debt?
Not very clear. Can you distance yourself from the mic a bit because it's echoing?
Okay, I'm sorry. So I'm saying I was majorly talking about renewables only because since bulk of your capex is going to go into renewables, then does it make sense to finance your renewable projects through your own internal accruals only rather than relying on the debt? Because you're generating enough cash as it is, right? And you're not looking at regulated businesses going ahead, right? Regulated projects.
No, we will have a judicious mix of that debt equity. Nobody will ever, finance the projects only through equity. So because we have other commitments also, we have other subsidiaries, JVs also. We'll be looking at new businesses. So from that point of view, whatever is the healthy mix, we'll go for a healthy debt equity ratio.
Okay, sir. Thank you. I'll get back to the queue right now. If there's any follow-ups, I'll ask again.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sudhadeep Mitra from Nuvama. Please go ahead.
Good evening and thank you for the opportunity. I got disconnected from the call earlier, so I'm already answered this question. Would you please help us with the adjusted PAT number both for standalone and consolidated for the quarter?
Yeah, we'll share with you the adjusted PAT. Adjusted PAT for Q2 financial year 24 is 3,497, which was 3,601 in the last financial Q2.
So this is for the standalone?
This is for the standalone. Consolidated is not ready with me right now. Probably our team will share it with you later.
Understood. Secondly, with regard to the ordering of the thermal plants which are currently in the pipeline, post Lara, if you can help us with the schedule of, how much and which projects you anticipate to get ordered out on the BTG side, let's say over the next 6 to 8 months or a year.
Award, no?
Yes, sir, the BTG award. the awarding of the bids?
See, we covered Singrauli 1600 megawatt and SIPUP 800 megawatt. Singrauli by December 23 and SIPUP by January or maximum February 24. And SIPUP is slightly delayed because of the election which has been announced and everything is on standstill there. Otherwise, it would have completed in December itself. For next phase is Darlipalli 800 megawatt that will come in June 24 and then Meja 2400 will come in September 24. Telangana
Major by when, sir? Sorry, I missed that.
September 24.
Okay.
And we have another 5600 megawatt capacity lined up. Telangana phase 2, 2400 megawatt. Obra D expansion 1600 megawatt that will be done by NTPC through Meja Urja Nigam Limited, our JV with UP. And Anpara another 600 megawatt expansion which will also be done through our JV with UP, Meja Urja Nigam Limited. These will be done progressively in 24-25 and definitely by 8/1 of fiscal 26. That's our target.
Perfect. That's very helpful. Lastly, on the renewable side, given that we have been able to expand our portfolio so well to 20 gigawatts over the last few months, is there any target of what kind of numbers you would like to reach in terms of total portfolio, let's say by end of this fiscal or next year?
Presently, we have a 3.3 gigawatt commission capacity based on projects on hand which has been awarded. So by financial year 26, we are expecting to have 15 gigawatt.
So if I understand,
we have a long-term target of 60 gigawatt by the end of financial year 32.
No, understood. So what you mean is that you're expecting to commission 15 gigawatt of renewables by FY26. Is that correct?
That is right, because around 11 gigawatt is under construction. 9 to 11 gigawatt is under construction.
I understand. And in terms of growing the portfolio, sir, beyond the 20 gigawatt, would you have any rough targets, let's say by end of FY24 or 25, that you're anticipating the 20 gigawatt to maybe grow to let's say 30 gigawatt by end of next year or something like that? Any such targets?
What do you want to know, Shubhadeep?
Sorry?
What do you want to know, Shubhadeep? You only know that the bidding pipeline of close to 50 gigawatts going to happen every year. So we'll obviously try to win some bids there. We're also talking to a couple of SEDA guys, but obviously can't give you a number right now. So.
Understood. So that answers that. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Gaurav Lohia from Bowhead India Fund. Please go ahead. The line for Lohia is disconnected. The next question is from the line of Nikhil Abhyankar from ICICI Securities. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for the opportunity. So, my first question is, why was our under recovery high in Q2, and are there any specific reasons for it?
The under recovery is high in Q2 because we have taken overalls, and these are overalls were taken during the season, so therefore this under recovery is high. Going forward, by end of the year, we will be making up this under recovery, and we'll have only around 200 crores under recovery. That took part of Barauni and 1 unit of part.
Okay. And so recently we had a new grid code. So what are your views on that, and will it lead to some kind of an opportunity to sell on power exchanges?
Grid code.
The new grid code, yes, there are opportunities for us to sell on the exchange, and we are doing that. But there are also some concerns of the grid code which have communicated to the regulator, and that is a continuous dialogue that we are having with the regulator on this.
Okay. Sure. And our renewable capacity addition for Q2 was almost nil, if I'm not wrong, sir. And so are we facing any difficulty in execution? And also you mentioned that we've got almost a locked-in capacity of 20 gigawatts, and our target for FY26 is 15 gigawatts. So almost around 5 gigawatts won't be commissioned even in next 2 years. So just can you throw some light on that?
So yes, in Q2 we didn't do anything because various clearances like sourcing of modules from outside India and all we got only towards the end of Q1. So the target is to pick up pace in Q3 and the bulk of that will come in Q4. So that's the broad target for this financial year. Regarding the 20 gigawatts which is already in the pipeline, so our target is, our broad aim is to do around 5 gigawatts every year. And this is what I think has been clarified earlier also by Mr. Srinivasan. That we do a run rate of about 5 gigawatts every year, so that we are on track to do the 6 gigawatts.
Hello?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. That's okay.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Gaurav Lohia from Bowhead India Fund. Please go ahead.
Am I audible? Hello?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, just wanted to check what is the adjusted PAT for Q2 FY22 you mentioned?
Adjusted PAT for Q2 is on a standalone basis, it is 3,497 crores.
3,497. And what it was in Q1, sir?
Q1 3794.
3794. And sir, while I understand that we don't have adjusted PAT for console, but if you look at reported numbers, sir, in the past, consolidated PAT as percentage of standalone PAT was in the range of 100% to 105%. But in the last 2 quarters, it's been almost 20% higher than the standalone PAT. Even if we include the portfolio that you have transferred to subsidiary, the renewable portfolio, it explains only 4 to 5% kind of PAT difference, right? So what is the data coming due to, sir? The large data?
Really, essentially, the profits from the share of profit from subsidiaries has been close to 250 crores variation, and the share of profit of joint ventures through equity method, we have a differential of 961. So this adds to around 1,200 crores variation, which goes on to fetch us this adjusted price.
Going forward also,
other factor is that our PF PCL was not there last year, so the COD was effective from 23rd December 22, which has also contributed to the higher results.
Sir, going forward, this difference would remain the same at the same level? Would it remain at the same level, around 20%, or it would come down because of, let's say, reduction in JV profit or subsidies profit?
It should be in the range of 15 to 20%.
Understood, sir. And so what was the capex for the first half, sir? At the group level. first half at the group level?
CapEx today, at the group level, group first half. At the group level, first half we are around 47%, each one. That is 13,204 crore, and target is 28,373.
28,373
is the target, and we are at 47%. Right.
Understood, sir. I think in the Q1 analyst meet, we had said 27,000 crore for FY24, right? So we have changed it to 28,000 crores.
Yeah, we keep on going upwards only, and that's a growing company.
So could you please give us the revised target for FY25 and 26 also, if there has been a change for those years as well?
Next financial year will be coming out before the budget because that is obligatory on a government company. We are working on it now, and our capex target for next year will be remaining almost of the same range. But after that, that will also zoom further.
Understood, sir. And just last question, sir, just to be clear again, sir, this difference between consolidated PAT and standalone PAT will remain there in FY25 as well, right? 15 to 20% kind of number?
That is our estimate.
Understood, sir. I understand. Right, but as of now, you expect this to continue, right? Yes, indeed. As per estimates. Yeah, understood. Thanks a lot.
The next question is from the line of Rajesh Majumdar from B&K Securities. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. So I had a couple of questions. One is what is the status of our pumped hydro project which is going on right now at PHBC? It is supposed to be commissioned this year, and what is the expected profitability from that project?
PHBC pump hydro project 1000 megawatt. There are some last moment surprises at the tail end region, and now the issues have been settled, and we expect the pump storage first unit to come on stream by January or latest by February, and then progressively 3 months it will come.
Okay. And this is a regulated return, right? This particular project?
Yeah. It's all cost plus only. Yeah, it's a CIP. Hydros are all cost plus.
Okay. And secondly, sir, you've given us the pipeline for the RE till FY26. Could you give us the pipeline for the capacity addition for thermal for the balance part of the year, 25 and 26? That's it from my side.
Balance part of the year, 25, 26. Just 1 second. Yeah. In this year, we have already achieved 1460, and in this year, we'll achieve further 1480, and this is what I'm talking is all coal. And to be achieved includes North Karanpur Unit 2, 660, Telangana Unit 2, 800, and Durgapur Unit 2, 20 megawatt.
Okay.
For next financial year, we have lined up 5240 megawatt capacity addition, which includes Bar Unit 3, North Karanpur Unit 3, Patratu 2 units, 1600 megawatt, and then THDC Khurja, both the units, 1320 megawatt, and Tehri PSP, although I am expecting 1 unit to be commissioned in this fiscal year, but in any case by 24-25, the entire 1000 megawatt will be commissioned.
Okay.
That makes it 5240.
And 26, sir?
26, our prediction is going to be the lean year because all the capacity that we are just now awarding will start getting commissioned from 27 onwards. In 26, it will be roughly 1764. This will include THDC Pipulkoti, 440 megawatt, and Patratu 1 unit, the last unit 800, and hopefully the Tapan Vishnuva project 550 megawatt.
Right, sir. That's helpful. Thank you so much.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Dhruv Muchal from HDFC AMC. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. So you mentioned that you have 14 gigawatt of pumped hydro project. Now, assuming that you get the financial closure done and the EC and FC cleared over a period of time, how many of these projects do you have go ahead from the state government to start constructing if all these procedures are done? Already you have approvals from the state government?
I told you that out of this 1400, roughly 6,000 has been identified by Government of India and sounded to NTPC. And among that, we have already discussed with Tamil Nadu, which is going for the cabinet approval now. Once it is approved, we will sign the agreement with them. The rest of the projects are roughly 8,000 megawatt. These are at various stages of identification. Like in Himachal, there are two projects, 1200 megawatt each, which is Coal Dam 1 and Coal Dam 2, PSP. These are very easy projects, and only Himachal government should agree to award it to us. There are some issues going on regarding water sales you must be doing. So there are some delay in that front, but we expect to get it soon. Karnataka, we are negotiating at the last stage for Netravati, and we are also discussing for some more projects with Karnataka. Maharashtra, we have already identified and we are discussing with them around 800 megawatt immediately and maybe another 2,000 megawatt going forward. Then we are also discussing with Meghalaya. We have signed an MOU for around 3,100, but we are in the process of preparing the pre-FR. Chhattisgarh, 1,200 megawatt we are discussing for joint venture route. And Madhya Pradesh, 800 megawatt has been identified. Gujarat, 1,000 megawatt. These are at the different stages of pre-feasibility report, and we have sounded the state government. And while some of the state governments like Meghalaya signed an MOU, which is given, rest of the cases except Gujarat, where Gujarat has evinced interest, that's why we moved in. So you can say 3,100 plus 1,000, 4,100 is also agreed de facto. The rest are at the different stages of negotiation.
Got it, sir. This is helpful, sir. Sir, just on renewables, you mentioned that there are 9 to 11 gigawatt of projects which are under construction. So just to clarify, this means that you have already awarded the EPC contract and probably some set of modules, or what stage are they? Hello?
I think it was clarified that about 3.5 gigawatts is already operational and another 7 gigawatts is under construction. So that adds up to 10. That is what you're referring to.
Yes, no, I'm saying when you refer to under construction of 7 or whatever 11.
So when we say under construction, so we already placed the EPC award or the balance of system award. So what is being executed on the ground.
Got it. So that means they would be commissioned over the next, at least this much would be commissioned over the next 18 months or 24 months. Because the EPC is
So whenever we have started the work, the target is to complete it by max 24 months, if not earlier.
Got it. So one more question was on the thermal addition. Now we are seeing some tightness in the power markets, and probably government is also pushing a lot. So is there any scope to, what we see from the current ordering is that it takes about 4 to 5 years to execute these projects, new thermal projects, even they are brownfield yet. So is there any scope to, quicken this probably in, I'm not sure, 3.5 years, 4 years or whatever. Is there any scope to do that, or what you think is 4 or 5 years is the best possible that can be done?
As an optimist project manager, I will say it is there. The scope is always there, and we'll try everything to do it. But in Indian context, I tell you, there are some basic problems that we face. First of all, the first 2 years, when we are doing lots of civil, the 4 months of rainy season completely takes away the 8 months from the schedule. So even if I do it in 4 years, I am effectively doing it in 40 months. That you have to understand. Second is, some of the projects, depending on the accessibility, the logistics, sometimes are required extra. Like in one of our projects, the generator stator itself was stuck up for 8 months. So project specific only I can tell you whether I can prepone or postpone. Like Dalgate Thermal, which is under construction now, which we have did last year. We have a very optimistic position even after 4 months ahead of schedule. If that gives you some kind of reasons to say cheers, that's good.
This is helpful. And so last clarification. In one of the previous questions, you mentioned that the gap between console and standalone should be about 15-20%. But just to understand, sir, because all the renewable is coming up in subsidiaries, which will add only in the consolidated profit, shouldn't this gap only increase every year? This 15-20% probably increasing every year?
So I have indicated, because there are several JVs and subsidiaries, and the net figure what would emerge would depend on interplays and peculiarities of each year financials. So it would only be fair to assume that it would be around 15-20%, but it depends on several factors.
So no, because I was wondering all the renewables, and a large part of the renewables is coming up in the next 2 years also. So that will add to the subsidiary numbers. So from that angle. But no, sir, I'll probably get in touch later. Thank you so much, and all the best. Thanks. That's all.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Atul Tiwari from Citi. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot. Sir, on these 14 gigawatt of PSP project, will you be signing a regulated ROE PPA, or is it like a fixed tariff for the per kilowatt hour of power stored? No, for the pump storage project, I'm asking.
The pump storage projects that we are developing will be developing mostly through the cost plus CFC model. That is what we are discussing with Government of Tamil Nadu, Government of Karnataka, everybody.
Okay, so sir, in that cost plus model, what is the ROE or ROC you are discussing on the employed equity or capital?
Yeah, we have to discuss on project to project basis. Project is different. I told you there are 3 different types of pump storage. And cost, generally the PSP also follows the same ROE that is allowed under the regulation for a hydro project.
Okay. And sir, any idea about the cost of storage? After say allowing for 16% ROE, what is the per unit cost of storage currently? Cost to the customer, I am asking.
Project, but the cost of storage cost will be of the order of 4.5. It will be of the order of say 3.5 rupees.
So 3.5 to 4 roughly. Okay. So about 3.5 to 4 rupees roughly.
3.5 to 4 and 4.1.
Only storage.
Only the storage company. And then you can add
the figure that was indicated is purely the storage, what is called as the price adder. You will have an inherent tariff for that, and all put together could be in the range of 7.25 to 8.24.
That depends on what kind of solid we have the right process storage. Storage is the cost which is in my control. So that will be of the order 3.4 to 4.4, depending on the type of project and location.
Okay, sir. Got it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was the last question, and I now hand the conference over to the management for closing remarks.
Thank you. On behalf of NTPC management, I would like to thank all of you for participating in this conference call for the Q2 financials. Thank you so much.
On behalf of B&K Securities, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.